Yes, a very good morning to all of you. Right, so making this video to give you an idea about the new MCQ compiler which we have launched for CA final audit. Right, so there are around these 1300 MCQs, right, which are there in this particular compiler. Right, so all the latest, including MTP, RTP, all the MCQ case scenario booklet, then those which are there in the study material of ICAI, all of them have been incorporated in this particular book. Right, so if you see it and look into the the index of the book, first you see the integrated case studies. Right, so around 38 integrated case studies from different topics have been included, and obviously what was relevant from the old syllabus, only those particular ones have been taken. And then concept wise case studies, like there is one case study regarding the quality control, right, so only regarding that one concept, or regarding the chapter number 2 in the institute study material, which is regarding the general auditing principles and the auditor's responsibility. Right, so likewise we have the concept wise case studies, right, that is the chapter number 2. And then chapter number 3 onwards we have the standard series, right, that is SQC 1 200, right, 300 500, right, this should have been named as the SA 600 series. Right, then after that you have the CARO and the SA 700. Right, then our 10 new standards which have come, 800 2000 3000 4000 series. And then after that, apart from these standards, we have the DA and a digital auditing and assurance, group audit, audit of bank, NBFC, PSU. Right, then also some additional MCQs over here regarding internal controls, and then also the internal audit, right, due diligence investigations, forensic accounting, the SDG ESG assurance, and the ethics and the liabilities of the auditor. Right, so very simple, interactive format in which the content has been given over there. Right, so you see the content of the first integrated case study over there. Right, so very simple colors, no much of decoration and all that. Would first I thought, oh, probably the book could come to more life with all of that, but then I realized no, the content and the simplicity makes it more effective. Right, so then after that you see the particular question given over there, and then the options, and then immediately on the right hand side the answer has been given. Right, so when you guys are studying, I recommend that you take a piece of paper and cover these answers which are mentioned on the right hand side, and then try to think of an answer on your own, and then reconcile, right, with the answer which is over there. So if it matches, then that means your thinking is right, it has been verified. But in case if you go wrong with the answer, then you will be able to identify where you're thinking or why you thought of this as the answer and what is the correct answer. Right, so that's the learning part. And then when you solve any MCQ and you find it to be a tricky one or something interesting, you want to have a look at it again. So those MCQs, you can mark it with an R, that is revise again, or you can mark it with a dot and a circle, or you can mark it with a stars, anything which conveys to you that next time when I study from this book, only these are the particular questions which I need to study. Right, so that is how the MCQs have been given over there. Right, you see the integrated case study 1 2, right, all of those, right up to the end. There are some 38, right, so including from the latest MTP, RTP, from the case scenario booklets of the ICAI. Right, all of these MCQs have been incorporated over here. Okay, right, so that would be one of the very important part of the preparation for CA final audit is preparing for the MCQs. And MCQ is a knack which you need to develop over a period of time. Right, so I tell my students, either you need to know the one correct answer, or you need to know the three wrong answers, or generally we fall in a 50-50 situation wherein we say these two certainly not, but out of these two, one of them is the answer. Right, so as and when we practice, certainly we become more confident, more sure about our judgment, our decision making, and that gives us the good skill set for solving the MCQs in the exam. Right, so you see, in a very wonderful, plain, simple format, the entire content has been given over there for the chapter number 1, which is all your integrated case studies. So earlier, integrated case studies was towards the end of the book. I said no. Right, as and when the students start studying from this book, I want them to do 1 or 2 or 3, depending upon the time which you have left for your exams to be approaching. Accordingly, you can decide to approach these integrated case studies. Then you have the the concept-wise case studies. Like you have the quality control, right? So SQC1, SA 220, you see the questions on that, right? Then general auditing principles and the auditor's responsibility, again the case study. Then audit planning, strategy, execution, so again a case study on that one, right? So these are all your integrated case studies, right? Sorry, the concept wise case studies, which is again what you say, integrated type, but only it is concept wise. Okay, right. Then after that, now coming on to the chapter number 3 onwards, wherein you have the SQC1 and the SA 200 series, right? So first you see over there all the MCQs from the SQC1, right? So SQC1, you see the MCQs over there. Then SA 200, overall objectives of the independent auditor and the conduct of an audit in accordance with the standards. Then SA 210, agreeing the terms of audit engagement, and likewise, right up to SA 299, which is regarding the joint audit of the financial statements, right? You see the MCQs regarding the SQC1 and the SA 200 series, right? Then after the SQC1, SA 200, next chapter you see over there is for the 300, 400 series, right? So again, starting with SA 300, 315, 320, 330, 402, and the 450. Right, so those are the MCQs for the 300 and the 400 series. Okay, right. Then after that we have the 500 series, right, which is our audit evidence, right? So we have 11 standards in the 500 series, right? So that is certainly going to be a big question mark. Rather, for SA 500 itself, there are 37 MCQs given over there, right? Then the 501, specific consideration for selected items. And you know, when you solve these MCQs, your exam, what you say, your case study writing skills in the exam, even your answer writing improves, you know, because you've approached on a particular point, right? So you get more conceptual clarity from these, right? So SA 510 and so nowadays, you know, students, before they want to purchase a book, they want a video regarding, no ma'am, we want to have a look at the content of the book, we want to know what all is covered in this book. So keeping that requirement of the student in mind, right, of the students in mind, we have made this purchase. I'm making this particular video. Right? Otherwise, I hope you are doing a great job in your preparation for final audit. You are doing the cumulative revisions of the subject. You are being in touch with the entire subject, and at the same time, you are also, right, doing your writing practice, because how much ever you understand the concept, unless and until you don't know how to write, you cannot win the battle. Right, so very important that you have the writing practice and also the MCQ solving practice for the two different dimensions of your paper. Right, so that is the SA 600 series, then the 700 and the CARO 2020, and then very importantly, I want to show you the 800 series. That is why I still continue to scroll through the pages. Right, so yeah, that will be a good practice, you know. So each and every MCQ, I made it a point that I go through it and see whether it is relevant, whether it is making sense, whether it is appropriate at the CA final level, and then it has been incorporated in the book. Right, so you have the 705, you have the 27 MCQs given over there, right? Then the 706, 710, 720, then our CARO 2020, right? So CARO, again, you see the number of MCQs on the CARO 2020, right? So again, yeah, we're seeing a lot of MCQs on the CARO, right? So that is around some 64 MCQs on the CARO, right? Then after that, some Companies Act, you know, like some depreciation, whether it is overcharged or undercharged, the depreciation, right? Then again, some of the relevant questions regarding the company law have been incorporated regarding the audit report. Right, and then again some integrated case study relating to the CARO, the audit report, company law, right? So relevant to a particular chapter, then those MCQs, integrated case studies, have been put in that particular chapter. And then if I come to the SA 800, right, you have SA 800, the special purpose framework, 805, single financial statement specific element, account or item, and 810, the engagements to report on the summary financial statements, right? So first, for this entire 800 series, we have an integrated case scenario over there, and then the general MCQs first for the 800 series, right? So that's a very important part. When you try to answer these MCQs, and based upon whether you get the right or wrong answer, you will be able to assess, okay, how good are you with your understanding of these particular standards, right? So you see these 800 series, then after the 800 you see the essay 805, right? And then the essay 810, right? The engagements to report on the summary financial statements, right? And likewise the content of the book continues, right? So the book is of 347 pages, so let's put it like 350 pages of the book. There are some 1300 MCQs. I made my team to count, okay, total how many MCQs are there in the book. So they said there are 1301. So I said, oh good, it's crossing 1300, right? So we have some 1300 MCQs in the book. If I'm not wrong, the book is priced at some 850 or 900, in that range, right? So you can place the order for the book if you think that you have to still apt your preparation for the MCQ part. If you've already done it, then you just continue, or finish with what you've started. But if you think you need a compilation where all MCQs are put together at one place, and this is the area where I'm lacking in my preparation, right? So then don't think about the investment, the equity share capital which you're infusing in the balance sheet of your life, right? So yes, thank you for listening to me patiently until now, and wishing you all the very best for your exams, right? Bye bye. Have a wonderful day.